Ako nga pala si Trina. Pero ang buong pangalan ko ay Anna Katrina. And kung kababata ko kayo or family ko kayo, malamang tawag sa akin ng Trina or even Katrina. Kung halimbawa, ka-workmate ko kayo 10 years ago or even now, you might actually call me Anna. I'm just used to being called by any of my names. So, or some people call me other things, like beautiful. And sa akin kasi, iniisip ko, dapat may purpose eh. Kapag ginagawa mo to dapat may purpose. Pero, bakit ba ako ganun mag-isip? When in fact, when we talk about, let's say, stories and paintings, art, yung art itself, sasabi nila na, as you go through the process, dun mo malalaman yung purpose ng isang bagay. And as that, let me tell you something about myself. Okay, so, IT analyst ako by heart ever since. Nung nasa Philippines ako, and then nagpunta ako dito sa Perth, Western Australia. Siyempre, naghugas ako ng pinggan, nag-deliver nung una, naging office admin. Hello, gonna connect you to Miss blah blah. Eventually, naging business analyst, IT analyst, basically ako from the very start, nung career ko. But ever since nung bata ako, I wanted and also still want to become a writer. And maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Pero the thing is, pag niisip ko, writing, mahilig din ako sa art, mga ibig sabihin. And then, na-realize ko, it's all about the stories. Diba? It's all about the stories or creating stories. Actually, ngayon, toy photography, they talk about, mga stories of, superhuman beings, right? But who just want to be ordinary, but because they're not, quote-unquote, ordinary, they have responsibilities, and they just try to live their lives with it. Because my friend, si Snowy, sibling for me, actually, she's into toy photography, and I'm interested basically in art and stuff like that.
Why are you falling?
Bakit nagkapatong yung doors? What are they supposed to be?
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe this and this together.
Huh? Aren't they supposed to be side by side?
How do you have doors on the second floor? Maybe the person can jump on the second floor.
Oh yeah, there, windows. That's right. Get the windows. Yan.
Is that better?
Yeah. So who made those?
Romel.
Romel from the Philippines.
Yep.
Paano mo nakilala si Romel?
He was referred to me.
Romel the referred. Okay. So, parang ginagawa mo, nag-outsource ka
Oh.
ng work. Oo nga, no, kayang-kaya mong gawin yan, di ba?
Oh. Yung sabi ko sa'yo, nakita ko yun, natuto ako, di ba? So, ginawa ko yung ali.
Tama.
Oh, yung mabilisan lang, pero I can't do that. That's too fussy. I mean, that's too tedious. I don't have the patience.
Gano'ng katagal niyo ginawa to?
I believe 3 weeks.
What? 3 weeks? Ang galing ah. Siguro fine arts yun.
Gumagawa talaga. Yan kasi talaga kanyang forte. Gumagawa siyang diorama.
Oh, okay. Sumali ako ng group eh. Pinoy diorama makers ata yun. Eh, hindi naman ako masyadong active. Kasi hindi naman ako nagda-diorama. I think I just like... Could you open the doors?
You can't open it like the normal doors.
Yeah?
You can... It's a piece of foam. It's a piece of foam, which is part of this foam board. But you can push it out if you want.
Could you push it out?
No, I don't want to push it. Sino ta?
Tinanggal mo yung ulo eh.
Kunwari si Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
Tsaka si...
Pero, kaninong head talaga yan? Ay, kaninong body yan talaga?
Kay Lex Luthor ta.
Kay Lex Luthor? Ba't parang walang leeg?
Hindi na rin.
Naka-tuck out talaga siya, no? Kaninong bag yan?
Sa kanya. MJ.
Ayun, pag ni Lex Luthor /
Kay ano?
Spider-Man.
Kay Lucas. Ay, hindi. Kay ano? Dustin.
Dustin. Okay. Why do they have a lot of bags?
Kasi, nagpapaalam dapat kasi.
Papaalam
Kay MJ.
na...
It's only gonna be a couple of weeks. Ganyan siya.
Oh, okay. It's only gonna be a couple of weeks. Ganon. Hindi naman-
Besides, it's only gonna be a couple of weeks. Ganyan sila.
Oh, okay. Ba, saan siya pupunta?
Meron siyang commission job.
May commission job. Okay. Snowy, parang kang elf. Meron akong script na sasabihin eh. Welcome! Ganito kasi yan. Itong kasama ko dito, toy photography na. And so, siyempre, since I think this is one of the things that kailangan dina-document din, kaya nag-create din kami ng ganito for you guys. So, tignan natin ang thought process nitong toy photographer na to. So in that setup, what's the most difficult thing to do? Yeah.
Setup.
The entire setup,
What are you doing?
documenting. Oops. Just documenting.
And then they will fight, Poti! Kilala, with yung knowledge mo, kilala ba ni Venom si Spider-Man?
Oh, di ba minsan pumasok yata si Venom kay Spider-Man?
Oo.
Hmm.
Dahil doon nakilala niya or accidentally lang yon?
I actually forgot. But, comics, they have different versions. Tapos sa movies, may kanya-kanyang version din. Baka nga yung superpowers sila, iba-iba eh. Maganda pala yung Venom na movie ah.
Nagustuhan mo?
Yep. Ikaw ba?
Oo. Poti, tingnan mo to.
Ano yan?
Teka. Galing kung saan-saan. Maliban na may shadow siya dito.
Sino siya? Si Venom? Ay, yung tao.
Ito yung tao.
Yan dyan sa setup mo, saan dapat ang source of light? Sa setup mo saan mo ini-imagine ang araw? Ano ba yan? Gabi? What time is it?
Kaya nga, nandun ko kasing source of light eh.
No, hindi. Sige, look at the setting. Ano doon?
Hindi ko alam eh, pero tinan mo yung shadow ko. Kung may shadow
Ah.
kong ganyan, nasaan dapat ang ilaw ko?
So, what's my purpose nga ba? Well, I guess I wanna say that I'm part of a studio. Right? Ano ba yan? Nasa Australia kayo para kayo naglalaro. And gano'n naman talaga dapat ang buhay eh. You have to enjoy your life. You have to be happy doing the things that you wanna do.